Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Southern California Gas Company, California Resources Corporation, Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, Panama Buena Vista Union School District, Bakersfield City School District, and the San Luis Obispo County Office of Education, with additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education in Kern County and throughout the state of California.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Do the Math. I'm Michael.
And I'm Tracy. And you can reach us today at Bakersfield at 636-4357. In San Luis Obispo, toll free 1-866-636-6284. We're on email, dothemath@kern.org. You can watch us online at dothemathonline.net. And don't forget social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
All right, well, we have a lot going on today. We have a very special guest coming up in studio in just a little while. We've got some phone calls to get to. We will be out and about at a new location for a restaurant, but the first place has been around for a while, but they're opening up a new one, so we'll go visit that place in a little bit. But before we get to any of that, let's first take a look at today's Math in the News. And it's always nice when there are math activities going on in town and we can recognize the students that took part in those math activities. One of the big ones is every year, and it usually occurs during the month of May, towards the end of the school year, is Math Field Day, hosted by the Kern County Superintendent of Schools office. Typically takes place the last few years at Liberty High School, where students from anywhere from, I think it's 6th grade on up can participate in this, and just a lot of fun for an entire day. A lot of different math activities that the kids can partake in, and always a lot of fun, a lot of great prizes to hand out, a lot of very, very bright math students in Kern County. One of the other events that takes place yearly is the Math Counts competition, and that takes place at CSUB, and it took place last Friday. And here's the headline out of the news today. So scores of Kern kids make math count. So Math Counts was the name of the competition, but they just kind of do a little play on words right there. So we can see 13 schools took part last Friday, and it's saying that the rankings for the top teams were determined by achievement on 2 individual rounds. And we would like to just say that these students will be moving on to a statewide competition. And we can see that in first place right there, we had a student from St. John's Lutheran School. Well, actually, I think that was the team. And then second place was Earl Warren. Third place, we had Fruitvale. And you can see fourth and fifth place moving on down there. Then there were students that counted as an independent. And then those students were ranked in that also. And we can see that some of the students, they took the top students, and there are many, many bright students out there, and you can see a lot of these kids, I mean, they're junior high students because it is a junior high competition. However, there were some schools that sent 6th grade students as well, because middle school is considered 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Just some junior highs don't have 6th grade students. So anyway, and I figured, you know what? Since we're recognizing the great work that they did at Math Counts, I figured, well, let's take a look at the Math Counts, one of the papers that they used to train with for this year, 2017-2018. And what we're going to do is, I think we're going to take a look at number 15 right here for you, Tracy.
Okay.
So we'll have the kids kind of work on this at home also, while you go ahead and work on it here. So what is the sum of the terms in the geometric series 1 plus 4 plus 16 plus ... and the last number is plus 1,024.
Okay.
So first thing is they need to look for a pattern and figure out what numbers are missing and then add them up.
Okay. So usually we do the guess. So we're going to try to guess first to try to see if we can find a pattern. Because this amount is missing, might be a little harder, but we know from here to here is 4. From here to here would be 12. So it could go up by 3s, but timesing, multiplying. If we take the square roots, so if we do maybe square root of 2 would be 4. Square root of...
Well, we're going to take 2 and square it
Square it.
to
Sorry.
get 4.
Let's try that again.
There we go.
Okay.
I knew you were talking about the symbol one up there.
Okay, so if we take the 2 and square it, no. Am I asleep today? I'm going to write 2 and square it, since
There you
I
go.
obviously cannot write it today. 2 and we're going to square it. How about I do that?
There you go. Perfect.
I'm a little sleepy. So that would equal 4. And then if we took 4 and we did that, that would equal 16, because we're really doing 4 times 4 and 2 times 2. So let's keep going. 16 squared would be 16 times 16, which would be 200, 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, 1, 256.
Correct.
So then that would be 256. So I'm going to write 256. And then we're going to square that. So I'm going to come over here and do 256. No, we don't want to do that. That's too big of a number. So let's try to go right here, and we'll write 256. But let's try to do 4, 16, let's do 32. Let's try to see what we get, and if we square it, we have 32 times 32 is 4, 6, 6, 9. Oh, I think we have a winner. Okay, so, and then it says we need to add them all up.
Well,
So,
before we add them up, let's take a look at the numbers you've got there, because
Okay.
you go from 2 to 4,
yep,
then you went from 4 to 16, and we can see how you did that, and then you went 16 to 32. So 2 to 4 is doubled,
yep.
16 to 32 is doubled, but if we go 4 to 16, that's not double.
So we're missing a couple.
We're missing a number in between 4
Got
and
it.
16.
Let's try 8, because if we're doubling
There
it
we
would
go.
be
So
8.
if we double 4, we go to 8.
Got it.
So we
Okay.
need the,
So I'm going to erase this part right here, and let's try to move in the 8. So I'm going to use a different color. We'll try to move in an 8. So I'm going to erase these, and I will put in 8 right here. So we want to do 8 squared.
right.
Okay. So 8 squared, 8 times 8 is 64. Got it. So let's try to do this. That would be 4, 16. We got to put the 1. 16. Now we got to do the 8, which is plus 64. And then plus, we cited it was 256 plus, and it was 1024. And then we need to add them all up. So I'm going to go up a little bit. I'll write them right here and then go up. 1 plus 4 plus 16 plus 64 plus 256 plus 1024. And I'm going to move this up. Put them, this and this. This and this is 5 plus 16 is 21 plus 64, 6, 7, 8 is 85 plus 256 is 8, 9, 391 plus is 391 plus.
Well, that's going to be 341.
Oh, my handwriting's atrocious. Okay, so then we have 1, 0, 2, 4 plus 3, 41, 5, 4, 5, 6. Yes. Yay.
There you go. A round of applause for
Thank
getting
you
that
very
one
much.
finally
Thank
done.
you.
1,365 is the sum of those numbers right there. And that is today's Math in the News, a little sample of math counts and the competition that they had at CSUB
That was a hard
last
one.
week. 636-4357 is the phone number. We do have phone tutors available until 5:30 on most Tuesdays and Wednesdays throughout the regular school year. Don't forget, if you're calling in from San Luis Obispo County and we do your math problem, you'll automatically receive ice cream from Doc Bernstein's Ice Cream Lab. We'll be back with phone calls and our special guest in studio. But right now, we're going to go out and about with Scott today.
Hey, thanks, Mike. We're here live today at the new Cubbies Pizza in Southwest Bakersfield, and owner Jim Reed is here to speak with us. Jim, thanks for being here today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about this brand new location.
You know, we're just almost ready to open. It's been a bear trying to get it open, but we're probably, I think, 3 or 4 days away from opening the doors and having Southwest Bakersfield come on in.
Good deal. Well, you got some really important stuff here. We have a scoreboard
That's
ready
it.
to go.
We do.
We have some official seats from Wrigley Field.
Yes.
But we really want to know about this location and exactly what went into planning the way that you organized and figured out how to make this the best possible new location for your business.
You know, I've been in the pizza business for about 34 years, and the most important thing is your kitchen. And your kitchen, it has to flow. The flow is the most important.
Yeah.
You're making your pizzas; they got to flow to the oven. You gotta keep everything going the right direction, or it takes time to catch up.
Right.
And
So we want to make sure that things can move in the kitchen,
Right.
but are not so far apart that you have to run around and get things. Right?
Exactly.
So close enough, but we can make sure things get through and get ordered quickly, right?
Exactly. So we
Yeah.
can get the orders out as fast as possible.
Gotcha. Can we take a look? Because I really want to see
Yes,
this
let's
kitchen.
go check it
Okay,
out.
so we're back here, and you got a chance to you got a chance to make the plans for this place, right?
Right. I designed the kitchen for the best use we possibly could.
Right. So you walk in here, and what's the first thing we see?
First thing we do is we've got our dough roller, and
Okay.
this is it's an antique, but they don't make them anymore. And
They don't make 'em like they used
They don't
to.
make
In
them
fact,
like
they
they
don't
used
make 'em
to.
at all.
But this is our only used piece of equipment in this store, because you have to hunt these ones down.
Right. And what makes this one so special and so different and so much better than a brand new one?
You know, the brand new ones they just don't flow the way they need to flow for us.
right.
So we use this brand, and it's a wonderful piece of machinery.
Good
right
deal.
there.
And you have some real specifics about the kind of pizza you make.
Right.
The quality with which you put into the pizza, right? And so this is part of that
This
process.
is part of it. This
Right.
is the first part of pizza right
Yeah,
here.
making sure you get the product that you want.
Really the second, from making dough to this.
Let's make some dough.
All right.
Where are we making this dough?
All right, here's our dough machine right here.
Okay.
And every day we make between 50 and 100 pounds of dough.
Okay.
Depends on what day it is.
Right.
And so from here it goes here, and then we ball it up in 16-ounce balls, and then off to the fridge to proof.
Okay.
And then after about an hour of proofing, we are back here to the pizza. to
Yeah.
be able
So
to make pizza.
you're making your dough here fresh at your store every day.
Every day,
Right.
every single day.
Gotcha.
Some of that dough becomes deep dish pizza.
Right.
Some of that dough becomes thin crust, and some is the thick crust.
Yeah.
So we do all three kinds. But from here we roll our dough, put it in the machine, cut it here, cut it to size here, and then all the way down the line, sauce the pizza. We do it backwards, so sauce goes first, cheese goes last. And
That's
then
Chicago style, right?
Chicago
There you go.
style, that's
Yeah.
it. And then into the oven, into the big old oven.
Right.
Cooks at about 500 degrees.
Wow.
And pizzas are ready. Thin crust about 10 minutes, thick crust about 15, deep dish about 25.
Right. So okay, now here's the idea. As a person who likes pizza, I've tried to make pizza at my house and it doesn't work. And I have a grand idea that it has to do something with this oven. Tell us what's the deal about the oven that's so much different at a pizzeria than it would be at home.
Well, a pizza oven cooks at a higher temperature than you can get your oven at home.
Okay.
So that's part of it.
So it's hot.
Also, you got to have the right ingredients.
Sure.
You got to have the right cheese. You got to have the right dough.
Right.
And
for you, that ingredients comes from Chicago.
most of our ingredients come right from Chicago,
Yeah.
shipped from Chicago. yes.
Right.
Yes.
Gotcha. And what makes them so special? Obviously, if you're making Chicago pizza, you have to be authentic. You have to bring it from Chicago. But what makes those ingredients so important to the product that you make?
Well, it starts from the cheese. So, okay, so our cheese is that it's actually not from Chicago, but from Wisconsin.
Okay.
Where all the cows are big and
Right.
fat, and they produce that
Right.
that fatty cheese.
Yeah, sure.
You know, and the salt content is a little bit higher than California cheese.
Okay.
And it just has a different flavor. It just makes your pizza just yummy.
Yeah.
Just yummy. The cheese
Yeah.
is the best thing. And that's the major thing that we get from Chicago. And we go through, the other store goes through about 600 pounds of cheese a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
I'm hoping this one goes through a little bit more.
Yeah,
So,
there
yeah.
you go. Gotcha. At some point, maybe we'll have to get you a Cubbies Pizza cow.
Right, maybe
And then
right from
you make it
Wisconsin.
Right from
Yes.
Wisconsin, exactly. Okay, so the pizza goes in, and you said we have thin crust, we have deep dish, we got all kinds of
Right.
different kind of pizzas that are going in here, but the oven temperature isn't going to change.
No, it's just the times.
Right.
The deep dish takes a little bit longer because it's about 2 inches thick.
Sure.
It's got lots of ingredients and cheese, and you know,
Right.
so it takes a whole bunch of time to cook.
Right, gotcha. Okay,
Right.
so different thicknesses take different amounts of time.
Exactly.
Okay, so it comes out, and this is one of my favorite cool things about the pizzeria, right? We take it out with the big
Right.
the big plate on a big spatula on a
We got the
stick.
big spatula.
Right.
Take it out. Goes right here. Goes to the cutter. Cut it up. Box it up. We got our boxes. Box it up. Goes into the warmer, and the delivery driver will grab it and go out, or it goes to the customers out in the dining room.
Right, there you go.
So yeah.
Man, so this is all dialed in, and you have all your things right here,
Yes.
ready to go.
Yeah, it's right here.
All right.
This is how
so
it works.
We really want to know, because we are doing the math, we really want to know about some math. So when we come back, we're going to do some math right here in the pizzeria, Cubbies Pizzeria. So glad to be here. So thankful that you have some time for us today. And we want to see what kind of math goes on here on a daily basis. So when we come back, we'll do some math here at Cubbies. Back to you in studio.
All right, thanks for that, Scott, and thank you also to Jim and Cubbies, because they're opening up that new restaurant down in the southwest area of Bakersfield, and opening up, like, I think in the next couple of days, actually. So a lot going on right there, and thankful to Cubbies for letting us come out and kind of invade their space while they're trying to get the place open again. Hey, we do have phone tutors available until 5:30. We'll be going to the phones in a moment, but first we have Taran in studio. And how are you today?
Good.
Why don't you let everybody know where you go to school and what grade you're in?
I go to school at Reagan, and what grade I'm in?
Right.
Yeah, I'm in 5th grade.
How's 5th grade going?
Really good.
What's the best thing about it then, if it's going really good?
Basically the field trips.
The field trips. So what kind of field trips have you been on?
So one field trip was like my teacher. She usually she took us to places like parks and those places.
Right.
And then basically in the parent clubs, they literally got us pizza and those things
Okay.
at the park for AR.
Sweet. There you go.
That's one of the best things.
There you go. Always fun to go out and about and things like that, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'd like you to do is next time you go out and about, see what kind of math you see wherever you're at.
Yeah.
Like if you see at a playground, right? See what kind of shapes there are as far as geometry goes, right? And then you can take a look at angles, see what kind of angles those things are at. A lot of different things you can do, all right? We're going to make you do a little bit of work, though. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to make you go to work in just a few moments, because right now we're going to go to the phones. And Jasden, how are you this afternoon?
Good.
And you're a 7th grade student, correct?
Yes.
All right. As soon as you're ready, let's hear the math problem that you're working on today.
Okay. You are building a square pin for your animals. You bought 90 feet of fencing, write and solve an equation to find out how long each side of the pin has to be.
Okay, so the problem says that you have a square pin, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so square means what? To you, what would a square mean?
90 feet.
90 feet. But if you were building a rectangle, would all the sides be equal?
No.
So when you're building a square, are all the sides equal?
Yes.
Okay, So if we're going to make everything equal and you're asking for you said an equation?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me what you would do in this problem?
Find out each of the sides first.
Find out each of the sides. If they all add up to 90 feet, how would you figure out how each one of the sides would be if they're all equal? Would you add, subtract, multiply? What operation would you use?
Adding.
You would add? So we
Yeah.
would do plus something, plus something, plus something. All the sides we would add, right?
Yeah.
But how would you know if our total is 90 feet and there are 4 sides? How would you know how to figure out, would you into 90? Would you multiply into 90? Because remember, there are 4 sides.
So you would multiply into 90?
So if you're making an equation, you would multiply by a variable, which would be x, because we don't know what it is, right?
Yes.
Okay, so our equation would be 4x equals 90. Now, do you know how to make an equation to figure out what x is?
Yes.
How do you do an equation so that you can check your work and figure out what x represents?
Draw a line down the middle.
Draw a line down the equal sign. So we have 2 separate problems, right?
Yes.
So 90 is already done because we know it makes 90. So how do we get x by x is by itself so we can figure out how much, so we can get rid of the 4? How do we get rid of the 4?
Subtract 4.
Would we subtract? Because I think it's inverse operation. If we're multiplying, what's the inverse operation of multiplying?
Dividing.
Dividing. So we're going to divide 4 each side. So 4 goes into 90 how many times? Do you know how many times 4 goes into 90? How many times does 4 go into 9?
4 will go to 9 2 times.
Okay, so then we bring down the 8. We have 10 left over. How many does 4 go into 10?
2 times.
Okay, so now we have 8, which we have 2 left over. We put the decimal. How many times does 4 go into 20?
5 times.
So then our answer is going to be 20x equals 22 and 5/10 feet every single side, correct?
Yes.
So now you've made an equation and you've solved it.
Does that help you out there, Justin?
Yes.
All right. Well,
Awesome.
nicely done on that problem, and for doing such wonderful work right there. We're going to send you home with a pizza, courtesy of our guest this afternoon, Cubbies Pizzeria, right there. So congratulations on that. If you do have another problem like that, we do have phone tutors available until 5:30. Taran is well rested now, so let's erase the board and get you to work, young man. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Head on over to the board. You brought in your math book, and you said that you have a math test coming up tomorrow where you're going to be working
can
on
come right
multiplying
And
decimals.
like that.
All right, so
Okay.
what we're going to do is, because you've already mastered multiplying decimals, we're going to divide decimals.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the problem we're going to work on first. So number 7 in your book is 3.78.
So we're going to make it a lot bigger, like 3.78.
So we'll go
There you go.
3.78 divided by 3. And if you would explain to us how you're going to solve that problem.
So we basically do is like put a 3 and then make a line like this and then put the bigger number inside. So that's 3 7/800. So we see what 3 goes into 3. So that's once. You bring down the number, you put the 0, then you put the other 7, and then 3 times 2 would go into 6.
Hold on one second. Let me move it up for you. There you go.
and then that would leave us, so we subtract it, and right here subtract, and that would give us answer of 1. Then we bring down the 8 over here that we have, so that'll be 18. 3 divided 18 would be so basically it's inverse operation. So you do 3 times 6, and then it would give us 18, and that's how we would get the answer.
And what is the answer?
So the answer is 126.
Okay, now what I need you to do is think about the decimal, because this is a decimal problem. We started out with 3, right? 3 and 7/7800ths?
Yeah.
So we started with 3 and something, and we're dividing it by 3. So are we going to end up with 100 something?
No.
Okay, so think about it again. You've got Tracy right there to help you out.
Right here.
Perfect.
And
So-
what made you put it there?
Since, as we see that the decimal is right here after 1 digit, so then we go to the digit with the decimal, and then we divide the number, and that's how. So that's how. In this example, we have the 1 right here, and the 1, and so then the decimal is after 1, like a digit. So then we put the 1 up here and the 1 up there. That's where this decimal goes. So basically, it's under each digit.
All right, so it's 1.26, correct?
Yeah.
All right, erase the board. I've got one more for you. Here we go. 1.33 divided by 7.
Okay, so now we do the same thing. We put the 7 outside, and we put the 1.33 inside. So 7 divided by 1, that can't happen, so we put the 0. And then, as I said in the last problem, that you have to put a decimal right there, since it's at 1 digit right here. And then, so the 3, and then we put so then that would be, we would add a 0, we would use this digit now. So 7 and 13, 13 divided by 7 would be ones, 7, subtract, that would be 6, bring down the 3, 7 divided by 3 would be 9, and so that would be 63, and then we put a 0 right here. And so we get the answer of 1900ths.
Very good. And do you need to put the 0 in front of the decimal?
Yeah, sometimes, depends.
What does it depend on then, if it depends?
It actually doesn't matter, since it means that 0 and 1900ths, or you could say 1900ths.
Right, and I think probably when you're in school, since you started off with 1 number in front of the decimal,
Yeah.
they probably would be appreciative if you put the 0 in front of the decimal and they just put 0.19. Either way is going to be fine. They both have the same value. So nicely done right there, Taran. 636-4357 is the phone number. We do have phone tutors available until 5:30. We'll get to more calls and visit Cubbies once again right after this. Today we're in San Luis Obispo County. We're at Reagan Elementary School, and today we're here to today we're at Reagan School, and I've got 8th grade student Delilah with me. How are you?
Good, and you?
I'm wonderful myself. You ready to go?
Yeah.
All right. Grab a marker, any marker you like. Here we go. I'll read the problem to you, and then you kind of explain to me how you would like to solve it.
Okay.
All right. Delilah made 2 types of cookies. Do you really believe that that's in the room?
No.
No, I'm only kidding. All right. She used 2/3 cup of sugar for one recipe and 1/4 cup of sugar for another recipe. How much sugar did she use in all? So she used 2/3 of cup for one recipe and 1/4 cup for another recipe. And the question asks, how much was used in all?
So you add, right?
Well, you tell me. Because if you use this for one and that for another, we want to know how much was used in all. We will add them, right? All right, so go ahead and put the addition symbol in there. Now what do we need to do?
Add across.
So what you want to do is we want to get common denominators.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need something that 3 and 4 will both go into.
12.
There you go. So let's go down here and make new denominators of 12.
12. Then that would be 4.
Right, because 3 goes into 12 4 times, right? So you had to multiply by 4. So what do you do with the numerator now?
That'd be 8.
Perfect. So you can go ahead and put 8 up there. And then what?
You divide?
Well, we're going to do the same thing with this one. So put your addition symbol there. And we're going to make another 12. Now, in order to go from 4 to 12,
Multiply by 3.
multiply by 3.
3.
Perfect. So now what do we do?
You add
All right, so go ahead and add them up.
8, 9, 10, 11.
Perfect. So how much sugar was used altogether?
11, 12.
11 12s. Is that just about the whole thing?
Yeah.
Right, because what would be a whole thing? What would be a whole one?
12, 12.
12 out of 12. All right, there you go. Delilah, nicely done. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I am an animal keeper here at CALM, the California Living Museum. I work with the mountain lions, the bobcats, as well as the bighorn sheep. Yeah, so like a regular day, I would do cats first, make their diets, make everybody's diets, and then I would do the bighorn barn. I always let the bighorn out in the morning because they do have access to the back. I drain them, bleach them, scrub them, and then I'll clean the whole exhibit. On a monthly basis, we try to get weights and flea controls, annual vaccines, exams as well. There's so much that we do, it's like so hard to like explain. And I do set some time aside, I mean, because they do like that social interaction. He comes and like, I just pet him and I comb through him, we brush him and things like that. So that kind of quality, intimate moment with him, those are probably like my favorite times being here. We do a lot of stuff people don't realize. We are here in order to educate the public about what's in our own backyard.
Feels really bumpy.
We do a lot of educational outreach here at the zoo. In fact, all of the keepers have a hand in doing that education. It's actually the favorite part of my job, is you're just gonna dump it right inside there. Good job! A lot of kids want to be zookeepers or work with animals when they grow up, so this is kind of a fun little way for them to get a glimpse of what that could be like if they decide to go that route. Most zoos now, they want a bachelor's, they want to see higher education, and they want to see a lot of volunteer experience.
A degree in biology helps out. Also, psychology can help out. I know some people have had psychology as a background to understand animal behavior. I always felt that you can do anything you put your mind to, so I pretty much was able to do that, and I'm very grateful to be here, and I love the place.
All right, welcome back. Do remember we have phone tutors available until 5:30. And Taran, I've got a big question for you right now. Do you like pizza?
Yes.
I have not yet met a student that has not liked pizza yet. Is there a favorite topping or a favorite type of pizza that you like the best?
Yeah.
What is that?
I like the pizza with mushrooms in them.
Ooh, mushrooms, huh? Not many kids like mushrooms. Mushrooms are pretty good, so that's a pretty tasty treat right there. So, you know what we're going to do? We're going to head out to one of the newest pizzerias in town, Cubbies, and meet up with Scott.
Hey, thanks, Mike. We're back here live at Cubbies Pizza with owner Jim Reed, and Morgan's making another appearance on Do the Math. And we want to know a little bit about the math is done here on a daily basis. So we set up this problem here. We're talking a little bit about, let's see, Jim, I want to come in, I want to order me a large thin crust pizza. Okay, so how much dough is going to be involved in a pizza like that?
In a large dough, it's 16 ounces.
Okay, gotcha. And a little bit less for a medium,
Right.
and a little bit more for an extra large, right?
Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay, so what we have here, right, this is our official pizzeria whiteboard. We have 16 ounces of dough for a large pizza, a little bit less for an extra large, a little bit more for a medium. And tell us a little bit, you said we're going to scoop out the sauce, right?
Right. So we use about a 6-ounce ladle, and
Right.
you get about 6 ounces of sauce on a large.
Gotcha. But we got to have the cheese. That's what
cheese.
makes the pizza.
That's
So how much
exactly it.
cheese do we put on that
We
pizza?
use 3 heaping cups of cheese per extra large pizza.
Gotcha. Okay, so then we got to throw some pepperoni on there. Going to cover the pizza, not overlapping,
Right,
right? We're
right.
going to cover the pizza.
Right.
Okay, so we approximated about 8 ounces of pepperoni. So here we go, Morgan. On your whiteboard, we want to see you do some math. We have 16 ounces of dough.
Okay.
We got 6 ounces of sauce. We got 8 ounces of pepperoni.
So 6 ounces of
Yeah,
sauce,
6 ounces of sauce, that's right.
pepperoni,
8 ounces of pepperoni. And then, here comes a little math for you. 3 cups of cheese. How many ounces in a cup, do you know?
there are 8 ounces.
8 ounces, gotcha. So we got 8, or what's 3 times 8?
24.
24, so go ahead and put 24 there instead of your 3. Now we want to know, how much does a large pizza weigh? Can you add that up for us?
Yeah.
Okay, so at the end of this deal, I mean, we're not talking a little snack pizza. We're talking some heavy-duty pizza here. This is a full meal that we have. So just add all this up together and see what you get. And then they won't have to do the calculation when Cubbies opens over here, right?
53.
Let's see what happened here. Ready? 6 and 6 is 12, plus 8 is 20, plus 4. Oh, we're so close. 54. That's all right. 54 ounces. Any idea how many pounds of pizza that is? How many ounces in a pound? 16. So this is a little over 3 pounds of pizza. Man. And that's not even the double dough pizza, right? I mean, that's some serious stuff there. All right. So some more math that we can do with pizza. You know, we always think of fractions when we're looking at pizza, but what I really want to know is, what is the area that we have for a large pizza? So you told me, Jim, we have a 14-inch pizza that's a large, right?
Yes.
And that makes the radius of that pizza 7 inches, right?
Yes.
Okay, Morgan, are you ready?
Yeah.
The formula for the area of a circle, pi r squared. For simplicity today, we're going to just use a 3 for pi, okay? So let's multiply 3 times 7 times 7, right? Because the radius is 7, so 7 squared. That's it. You can do them in any order you want. We love multiplication because the order in which you do those numbers doesn't matter. You got it. Yep, that's it. All right, so we're going to fix this up just a little bit. Ready? 9 times 3? 27? That's okay. That's all right. That's why we have erasers. That's part of math, right? 4 times 3 is 12 plus 2? 14. There you go. So 147 square inches. Now, how much bigger is that going to be if we go to an extra large? Ready? Now that you got those little things out of the way, you know exactly what to expect. So instead of a 7 this time, we're going to do an 8. Because now we have an 8-inch radius on this pizza. So ready? It's 3 times 8 times 8. And I like the fact that on the other one, you went ahead and did the 7s first, right? So you can do the 8s first here as well. So what's 8 times 8?
64.
Good. So let's do 64 times 3. There you go. Now you got it. Yeah. And 6 times 3, 18 plus 1 more? 19. So we go from 147 square inches to 192 square inches. Man, I don't know. I think the extra large is a pretty good deal.
Better value.
And it's a better value, that's right. And hey, if there's extra pizza,
What?
well, then there's probably not extra pizza for very long, right? I mean, that's gonna be eaten pretty quickly, so
Right,
at least we have
cold
another meal
pizza.
out of it.
Cold pizza is good.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I really want to know if you can tell us, what is the best form of advertising in your experience for your business?
You know, we actually did we tried every advertising that we
Yeah.
possibly could.
Yeah?
From newspaper, magazines, direct mail, flyers on houses,
Sure.
and television. And for us, the bang for our buck was television. Television was the best advertising we could for our money.
Right,
Yeah.
good deal. How about the internet? Anything on the internet at all?
We've done little things here and there. Actually, that's funny that you say that. We're working with a guy who's working some internet. We do have Facebook, so
Right.
we do Facebook ads.
And you got a great website.
Right, we have a good website.
Yeah, got the full menu there.
Yes, and we do online ordering too. So
Yep.
yeah,
Good deal. So folks can go to your website and they can order online as well, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, solid. So after all that, you decide that television is the way to go.
I think for the advertising dollar, television is the best
Right.
by far.
So here we are, right? It's a good thing that we're here because television seems to work for you.
That's what I'm
And of
saying.
course, we want word of mouth too because it doesn't cost a lot and people like to hear that.
Exactly.
So we want to talk to you one more time, a little bit about how do you start your own business? I mean, gosh, you have 2 stores now. It's kind of exciting. So in our next segment, we'll come back and have a little discussion about how you start your own business. Back to you in the studio, Mike.
All right, nice to see everything going along there at Cubbies with Scott. We do have phone tuners available until 5:30. We've got Taran in studio, and since Taran is ready to go, let's go. Back to the board, young man. Here we go. Here's another problem from Math Counts, since we were talking about the students that participated in that competition and were awarded some of the top prizes, moving on to the state level competition. So here's another one of the problems that they use to kind of practice on before the competition. So I'll let you start all the way over on the left-hand side of the board because you're going to have a couple of numbers to write down. So we're going to go 2 plus 5 plus 8 plus 11 plus 14 plus ... plus 89 plus 92. And the question is, what is the sum of the terms in the arithmetic series? So you need to figure out what the pattern is and then how you're going to add those up and find the sum. And then after you do that, see if there's an easier way possibly to do that. So first of all, you want to take a look and see what kind of pattern they might have going on.
So
Straightforward.
2 plus so this, if we subtract it, that would give us 3, and then with this one, if we subtract it, that'll give us 3 as well. And then this, we subtract it, that'll give us 3. And then this would give us a 3 as well. So it's basically add 3. So
And does that work even at the end of the number line there? So take a look at your last 2 numbers. Does it
These
still
2.
work?
Right now.
yeah.
So check on that.
So we add these 2. If we subtract this one and this one, both of these numbers, then it's gonna give us 3. So that's the same as these. So basically the pattern is add 3. And
So you're not going to have enough room in there to put all the numbers that are missing. So if you'd want to, you could go below that or above that to write down all the numbers, if that's one way you want to do this.
So do you have a different way, or is the one way you want to do it is to write all the missing numbers?
Because eventually you want to find the sum of all of those numbers that are up there.
we could do is we could go with the number. Yeah, let's just go with 3s.
So you want to individually add them up, so the next number would be like 17 plus and another number? And keep going. Is there an easier way that you could do it? So we wouldn't write like 17, 20.
This is like the only way I know how to do it.
So
Okay.
I'd say go for it then.
Okay.
Okay, so that'll be 17, and then it'll be 20, and 23, 26, 29, 32, and then 32, and then let's see, would be 35, would be 38, plus would be 41, and then would be 44, and then would be 47, and then would be 50, and then would be 53, and then it would be, and then you would add it. So if
It's okay. You can come over here. We'll fix it in a minute.
So then you add it, and then so that was 53. So then it would be 50. So then you add 56, and then 59, and then 62, 65, 68. Would be 71, and then 71, 74, 77, 80, and then would be 81.
Well, not 81.
I mean 83, and then 86, and then would be finally 89.
So we're going to cross this number off because we already have it up here, so we don't get confused.
Okay.
Okay.
So now the question still is, what is the sum of all those numbers? Because you found the pattern that you're counting by threes.
Yeah.
So you went from 2 to 5 to 8 to 11 and all the way up to 92.
Yeah.
So now you need to, is there a way that you can add those up, or do you just want to go right to it and add them up? Or is there another way to possibly make it easier?
We could go by. Yeah. The only thing is like add them all up.
So let's think.
How about if we try this first? Move a little bit of room on the board for me.
Okay.
So yeah, go down. All right. So Taran, all the way over on the left-hand side, I want you to
Sorry.
write down these numbers: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Now put a comma between each of those so we know that they're separate numbers. And if you wanted to add all of those up, how would you do it?
We would just go 1 plus 2, does that be 3? So we would go this way. So 1 plus 2 would be 3, and then 3 plus 4 would be 7. 5 plus 6 would be 11, and then just forget about the 7 for right now, and then we add all of them up, and then, or just not to forget, we could make its own line and just do a 7, or we could split the 7 in half, so that'd be 3 and 4. So 3 plus 7 would be 10. 10 plus 11 would be 21. 21 plus 3 would be 24. 24 plus 24 plus 4 would be 28.
Good. Nicely done. So go ahead and put equals 28 there. Great mental math. Now what I'd like you to do is take a look at this. I want you to circle the 1 and the 7.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And what does that equal?
8.
Okay, so off on the right-hand side, write 8. Over on the right side. There you go. Now circle the 2 and the 6. What do you get there?
8.
Okay, so add another 8. Now, what do you think I want you to circle next?
5 and the 3.
5 and 3. What does that give you?
8.
8. And then what do you have left over?
The 4.
A 4. So just write the 4 next to your 8s. Now you have 8 times 3, right?
Yeah.
Which is what?
8 times 3 would be 24.
Plus 4 more gives you
28.
28. So it's the same thing, but it's a little easier to combine numbers to get totals and then see how many pairs you have. So let's go back up to the top. So we started off with the number 2, and we ended with 92. Take those two ended numbers and add them up, and what do you get?
94.
Okay. Now take the next two numbers, the next one in from both ends,
Yeah.
a 5 and an 89,
Yeah.
and what do you get?
You would get 94.
Okay. Now take the next number, 8, and I think you had 80,
86.
right? 86, I couldn't see down the bottom there.
It is, it's 86.
So 86 plus 8,
86 plus
think real quick, what do you think it might be?
would be 94.
There you go, ding ding, you're a winner right there, right? So it's gonna be 94,
Yeah.
okay? Take the next one, 11, and the next number in 83. So what do you think 83 and 11 is?
94.
Do you see a pattern here?
Yeah.
So you don't have to add up all those numbers, do you?
No.
What are you simply gonna add up?
The number that's in the middle.
Right, you're gonna get a bunch of 94s, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the key is to take a look at that and figure out, all right, how many 94s are we going to have? And then is there anything left over in the middle? Like the one we did, I did purposely for you because there was a 4 left over,
Yeah.
so that you couldn't just make pairs going all the way down. And that's what this problem is doing right there. They're having you add, see, you could just add all of those up, but is that gonna take a little bit of time?
Yeah. We could just like count how many numbers are there, and then like see if they're all odds, and then if it's an odd number, then we like found like how much would it be as an even number, and then when we find like we subtract by 1, and then we could see numbers, so we just count forward till that much we could find. So that means
That's a good idea. That's what I wanted you to take a look at right there. So I don't want you to add up all of those numbers, all right? And because that would just be, you don't need to do that. The key with this problem was I wanted you to see that you could take the numbers on each end,
yeah.
put them together, you get a total, and then take the next two, put those together, you get a total. So you would have a bunch of 94s. So you could just go 94 times how many times you paired them up, and then take what was left in the middle, if there is, and then you can see what the final answer is. So Taran, come on over here for a moment, because I don't want you to do all of that right now. This will be something, you know what? Maybe I'll have you work on that, because we're gonna go one more time out to Cubbies. They've got a new location opening up in Southwest Bakersfield, and we're gonna visit with Scott and talk about the opening of a business.
Thanks, Mike. We're back here live at Cubbies Pizza, the brand new location with owner Jim Reed. And Jim, I gotta know, tell us a little bit about owning your own business, how you got into it, and why you serve Chicago style pizza.
Well, you know, I started when I was really young.
Yeah?
Started delivering pizzas for Domino's.
Okay.
Back in 1984.
All right.
And you know, from the get-go, I just loved it. I thought pizza is the best thing on earth, and they're paying me to do this.
Right.
So I always thought I would own Domino's pizzas, and then I found there was better pizza in the world. And
there you go.
I thought, well, if I can make better pizza, let's do it.
Right.
Let's do it.
Right.
So it's been 34 years, and I've worked at a lot of different pizza places.
Right.
And I've just enjoyed it.
Yeah. So how do you decide going from a delivery guy or working at a pizza place to, hey, I want to own my own pizza place? Because that's a really big step to take, right? And now you have a brand new location.
It is. It all started, I was managing a pizza location, and they sold. And so I trained the new people, I trained the new owners, and a year later they sold again, and I trained those guys.
Right.
And about 6 months later they sold again, and I said, I'm done training people. I'm just going to do this on my own.
Yeah.
And so that's exactly what I did. A guy at the old San Joaquin bank took a chance on me.
Oh, you gotta
And
have somebody believe in you,
He
right?
really did. Nobody else would.
Yeah.
And he took a chance on me, and lo and behold, it was a good chance.
Right,
You know,
right.
we've now been in business for Cubbies Pizza for 7 years, and hopefully next week we'll open our new location.
Nice.
Maybe this week. We'll see.
Right. So success has come your way.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
So my students want to know, and heck, I want to know too. You know, we don't know what it's like to own your own business. What are one or two things that stick out in your mind? You said if you own your own business, you have some alone time, right? I mean, you have a lot of hard work behind the scenes.
There is so much hard work. The funny thing is, people think that when you own a restaurant, you're just no, I work 60, 70 hours a week,
Right.
and just to keep this thing going.
Sure.
And you know, the other location, when we first opened, I think I didn't see my kids for the first 2 years, and so, but it all paid off, and I could cut back my hours, and for the
Right.
last 5 years, I've kind of taken it easy.
Yeah.
Until this one. Now we're going to do it again.
Now you get to
So-
start all over again. And you
That's
have to be good at so many different things, right? You have to be able to be a good people manager. You got to obviously be a good cook, but you got to be able to talk and know about leases, about leasing a building. You got to
Right.
know about how much income to get and how much your expenses are. You really have to have a lot of skills as a business owner, right?
Well, you know, it was really at first it was learn as you go, learn as you go,
Yeah.
and as we progressed, you learn a lot of different things, and knowing how much rents are in the most important thing, because if you're paying too much rent, you're not going to make it.
Right.
There's a lot of issues with food ordering, and you know,
Sure.
and how much money's going out. You want to, at the end of the month, you want to see that money staying in. So
Right.
that's the important thing.
Well, and it sounds to me like you picked a business that you have a passion for. It's pizza. Like you said, it's the greatest thing in the world.
It is,
So
it is.
that's got to carry you through some of those hard times as well, right?
You know, I've ate a lot of pizza, so that's true.
Yeah.
but
Gotta love it.
I definitely I enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
I enjoy meeting new people.
Right.
I enjoy my customers. I wouldn't be anywhere without them.
Man.
The customers are the most important thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Well,
know?
we are so grateful that you let us come here today. I'm excited for your new place to open. I think you're excited for your new place to open. We really appreciate your time today. Thanks so much. We
Thank
want to make
you.
sure that you don't forget to do the math. With this brand new building, we have a tile for you. It's even the Cubbies colors,
I
right?
love it.
Thanks
I
for
love
helping
it.
us out here do the math. We'd love to see the grand opening, so we'll look forward to that.
Thank you
right?
very
After
much.
all the inspections happen.
Yes.
And yeah, boy, this was a really fun visit. We're so glad that we could be here today.
Well, I appreciate
So,
it.
Mike, hey, look forward to some good Cubbies Pizza at the brand new location. Back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks for that right there, Scott. And thanks once again to the folks over at Cubbies for allowing us into the place before they're even open. A lot of things going on with the grand opening of a business over there. Hey, we do have phone tutors available until 5:30 this afternoon. We've got Taran working on an extremely long problem, but not difficult problem, just wondering how to get all of the different numbers together. He's working on that right there. With his hard work, we would like to say thank you to Taran coming in today, and he's sending him home with a card from Chick-fil-A. So thank you, Taran, for working on that. Figuring out, you can take those numbers, add them up, figure out how many pairs there are, and then he can come up with the final answer there. So that's what you need to keep on working on. So nice work today,
come
Taran.
over
Did you
here.
have fun?
Yeah.
Oh, over
Good.
there.
All right. You know what? Until we meet again, continue to do the math.
Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Southern California Gas Company, California Resources Corporation, Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, Panama Buena Vista Union School District, Bakersfield City School District, and the San Luis Obispo County Office of Education, with additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education in Kern County and throughout the state of California.